Dzień dobry moi drodzy, jedziemy dalej. Panie i panowie, dzisiaj będzie spam zadań pobocznych, wszystkiego. Włącznie oczywiście z tablicą do polowania, która chyba ma jakieś potwory pewnie. Tak czy nie? Nie, na razie nie ma. Dobra, w takim bądź razie skupiamy się na wszystkich zadaniach pobocznych, które aktualnie mamy. Szczególnie na tych plusach też. Więc no, będzie biegania. To będzie jeden z dłuższych odcinków o zadaniach pobocznych. Ja, ze względu na to, ile ich jest, a jest ich mnóstwo, bo są i w kryjówce, są i na mapie. Ja będę dużo dialogowych kwestii czytał, skipował i jest koniec od tej pory słuchania questów. Ja je będę czytał szybko, po cichu. Skipuję je generalnie w taki sposób, że jak je przeczytam, no to przyspieszam, a nie słucham całego dialogu po angielsku. Wybaczcie, po prostu to jest... Ja już kończę tą grę powoli, a jest jeszcze masa questów, które mogą być nudniejsze, ciekawsze. Jak będą ciekawsze kwestie dialogowe, to ja je zostawię. Ale jak będą, nie wiem, nudniejsze... Ale ja nie chciałem z nią porozmawiać, tylko z nim. Jak będą ciekawsze kwestie dialogowe, oczywiście wysłuchamy całe. No patrzcie, 3 zadania w jednej lokacji, no. Oj, długo to zejdzie. Dobrze, zacznijmy od tego. O, znowu Blackthore znowu. To akurat mogę posłuchać w miarę. Ale się tylko... Domyśliłem się, że po pani będzie jakiś problem.
Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. Except get eaten. If something ain't done soon. Yep.
Dobra.
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think he would.
Does Blackthore know?
I thought it might be better if he didn't. He'd only do something stupid. You reckon we should tell him?
No. It's better.
Yeah, well. I can't stand about...
Dobra, idziemy pomóc w kopalni w Dravos. Smutek Kowala, czyli znowu będą jakieś rzeczy do skrawcenia nowe. Teraz następna rzecz, jaką idziemy od razu zrobić. Moi kochani, idziemy zrobić meet idziemy. Tu już nie będzie w ogrodzie nic na szczęście, tylko do meet trzeba lecieć. Zbierzmy te questy na razie stąd. Wszystkie jakie się da. I dopiero później ruszymy. Będę wszystko robił po kolei, żeby jak najszybciej porobić te questy. Oczywiście nagram je, nie będę ich pomijał jakoś tak, żeby się dało zastopować, spowolnić i zobaczyć te momenty, ale...
Sid. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Don't tell me. You need more.
Oh no. I'm working on bringing another one of Chief's designs to life. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermal amplification. But let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than only mithril engines get hotter. And you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make it out of any old rubbish, and I hear you once helped Helena get her out.
If it's for the good of the hype.
Oh.
So, what exactly is this?
We've got a couple of examples here.
More fallen material. So this smelter is similar to the mithril engine in more.
That's right. They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramics deal with heat, and what's more, they're directional. Transferring heat. We've collected as many as we can, and I know where we can get the rest.
So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes, and bring...
That's it in a nutshell. We're only 3 short, mind. There's one up Amber Way, in that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South, over in Dalmekia.
O mamo.
Last one...
To jest jeszcze w 3 różnych miejscach, w 3 różnych...
All right then. Wish me
O
luck.
Boże. Dobra. Dobrze, że to wziąłem, bo to jest quest w 3 różne miejsca, w 3 różnych królestwach, cesarstwach, księstwach i innych takich. Dobra, teraz tak. Szybki teleport. Jak ta mapa wygląda? Pogrom. Dobra. Dalej zbieramy szybciutko. Dziadek. Do dziadka z książkami może będzie quest. Nie biegnijmy do niego. Może jakiś quest będzie się łączył z dziadkiem. Książkami. Może będzie jeszcze potrzeba podejścia do niego, to dopiero wtedy z nim pogadam. Albo na sam koniec zostawię dziadka. I tak do Blackthorna będę musiał pójść po kapitan Doris. Dobrze. Tak, bierzemy.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me.
I resztę listów trzeba przeczytać. Taril. Dobrze, ja już nie jestem zainteresowany. Dobra, tu nic nie ma. Idziemy szybciutko. No ten odcinek będzie bardzo długi. Ja mam 4 godziny nagrywania, bo o 18 z Bigosem zaczynamy. W dniu tego nagrywania to... Jak myślicie, zrobić ten miecz? 15 do mecza więcej. No zawsze to jest coś, co przyspieszy trochę nasz progres. A zrobimy tam. To Boga temu zabroni. Ładna tarcza. Tu jest ten uroboros dalej, nie? No właśnie, którego nie mogę. Nie mam jeszcze tego czegoś tam. Dobra, teraz tak. Dlaczego tu jest quest? Samo zastanowienie. Dobra, nie będziemy się teleportować, pobiegniemy tam. Niewidzialne ściany.
Can I help you, Sid? I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she? What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment.
Dobra, napiłem się.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the beastmen. I'll go and find her. She's at Martha's.
If she's not moved on already.
Dobra.
Doris insists on going alone.
Zajazd Marty. Jedziemy. Teraz tak. Ja mogę tylko 5 czy 4 questy brać, więc musimy najpierw zrobić... musimy najpierw zrobić te... plusiki. Porobimy plusiki. Może się okazać, że to zła decyzja, będę musiał wrócić, no ale jakąś kolejność trzeba sobie wziąć. Teraz tak. W którym to jest miejscu? Okej. Jedna ścieżka, druga ścieżka, bez różnicy. Ten odcinek będzie taki z takimi tego typu zadaniami. Ale dlaczego zsiadłeś? A, bo to jest wioska. Dobra, nie walczymy. Biegniemy. Jednak nie dali rady nasi koledzy z wioski. Tam wcale nie ma lepszych potworów. Nie, powiem wam... Mógłbym oczywiście z tym wszystkim walczyć, ale nie ma takiej potrzeby. Nie widzę w tym sensu. Ja za nich nawet mało jak dostaję punkty tego. W ogóle miałem zmienić ikona, żeście zobaczyli siwę. Już zaraz to zrobimy. Mogę to zrobić w trakcie walki? Zaraz zmienimy sobie siwę. Weźmiemy. Zamiast Bahamuta. Garudy nie zmieniam z jednego... No nie można. Garudy nie zmieniam z jednego prostego powodu. Garuda nie jest przede mnie zmieniona z tego powodu, że jak zbijecie połowę siły woli przeciwnika, to możecie powalić. Epoka lodowcowa. Dobra, ten atak wygląda... Okej, a drugi? To jest nawet okej. Fajne ma zdolności siwe, już widzę. Ale zobaczmy, jaki jest ostateczny atak. No taki se jest. Powiedziałbym, że elektryczność mi bardziej przypada do gustu, ale dobra. Jesteśmy bogaci. Nawet nie zwracamy uwagi, kupujemy. Teraz tak, czy ona ma jakieś fajniejsze? No, mistrzostwo, okej. Przyzwij przeogromny kryształ lodu, który ciągle obrażenia uwięziony wewnątrz wrogom. To jest dobra rzecz. Ciągle obrażenia. Co chcemy bardziej? To? Czy to? To atakuje kilku wrogów. Tym można spudłować łatwo. I atakuje tylko tych z przodu. Darujemy sobie epokę lodowcową. Weźmiemy to. I weźmiemy to. W ten sposób. Chociaż to ma większy atak. Wydłuża czas trwania wiecznej zamarzliny. Oho, okej. Dobra, to cofnijmy. A dajmy wieczną zamarzlinę. O, dokładnie. Teraz tak. Fala żaru Feniksa. Chyba tak. Czy ja tu mam coś, co jeszcze mogłem ulepszyć? Nie, chyba nie. Pamiętam, to nie. Tak, Garuda. To jest to. Dobra, teraz tak, skrzydła Bahamuta. Wiecie co? Starczy. Trzeba się uzbroić jeszcze w to przecież. Starczy, a ja jeszcze się nie uzbroiłem. Nie, tak to nie. Epoka lodowcowa. Chciałem to. I to. A, bo ja mogę przecież jedno tylko mieć. To szać i diamentowy pył. Dobra, te dwa. Niech będzie. Daleko się nie da tym jeździć.
I need to deal with these ones first.
Fajne. Rzeczywiście go zamroziłem. To się fajnie gra, bo kiedy się szybciej rzuca. Nie no, Shiva jest potężna. To zamrażanie jest bardzo mocne. Mogę zamrażać i przyśpiewać sobie atak speeda. Nie no, co ja teraz mogę zrobić z tymi? Nie zmienię już chyba Shivy do końca. Chociaż Barnabas pewnie będzie mnie... Znaczy Odyna, kiedy będzie mnie interesował. Dobra. Czy możemy tu więcej zrobić zadań? Tak. Wiecie co, to już je zrobimy. Jeśli już tu jestem i się steleportowałem, to robimy od razu przy okazji następne. Nie tracimy na nic czasu. Jesteśmy, mamy po drodze, to mamy po drodze od razu. Dobra, jedno zadanie, drugie zadanie. O, przyjazd.
Clive, I was just about to send for. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. I'll keep providing, but if Eastpool's go as of those poor bears, they've lived their
Umiecie tak szybko czytać? Przepraszam, jeśli jest za szybko, ale zadanie jest tyle, że...
If you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneer's taking Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gizal Greens.
Not the most mouthwatering. Better that than something that'll wither away. And chocobos love them too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take you.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if I'll go up there and show him my...
I'm sure you will.
Iskierka Nadziei 2.
Anything catch your eye?
Wiecie co? Ja już myślałem, jak będzie dalej szumieć, to zamknę okno u siebie. No niestety, będą szumieć. Dobra, prace są na zewnątrz, muszę zamknąć okno. Koniec szumów. Nie mam ochoty tego słuchać. Jeśli coś było słychać, to przepraszam.
That all, is it?
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Now,
Jadą tym urządzeniem i szumią, no. Męczy to już. Dręczą jakąś, nie wiem, podłogę w tej klatce, w przejściu. Już jakieś 3 tygodnie.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Ale co ja mam tu zrobić?
A thousand Akashic jars couldn't hurt me.
Dobra, porozmawiajmy z ludźmi, może ten quest.
know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately. I hardly keep up. But what I do know,
Mam.
it's been a pleasure, Doris.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now. So,
I'd say so. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region, and is after her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial... She's dangerous, Sid. But
then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort.
the Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You...
Dobra. Tam. Daleko. Eastpool jest na razie. Dobra, Eastpool pierwszy. Eastpool, później tam, później powrót do zajazdu Marty. Pewnie będzie. Taka jest kolejność. Moja.
I heard the Guardian saying we're supposed to grow our own...
Ah, what brings you to eat?
A delivery from...
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings. I jest, of course. You see, I had thought but they'd long since gone to...
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and so that they'll be able to...
That's not about... These bearers had only recently escaped their They know little of freedom, of providing... Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all... Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far. It's about time we all started to provide for... Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much...
The Horde is...
Dobra, walka.
Time it all. I gather the men in the square.
Yes, Sir Wade.
Powiem tak.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size.
Ja wystarczy.
Can't hope to build.
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do.
What if you could call...
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die, fight.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish, though they may not be trained soldiers like your guardians? What help they are able to offer could still
You're right, my lord. I will. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them.
O, tego nie mogę
at
skipować.
our side.
Dobra, to się napije.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just
No i
like I
wkurzyliście
did,
Martę.
just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village, your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything.
Everything.
Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves?
Patelnią w łeb.
Fight like free men and women?
Tak jest. Patelnią w łeb. Akasze. Damy radę. Marta jest najlepsza.
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Reborn.
Gladly.
Urodzeni na wolności ludzie.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be...
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound.
Lord Rosfield, my leg.
So what's the plan of
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians. Upon engaging with the Akashek, each detachment will keep...
You're going to lure them into the...
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely by coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers. With luck, that point will be the village, and for you and I to finish
A sound plan. But one that'll require a leader with a... I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. Please, leave the...
Ha! And let you have all the
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must do. We work
No
together.
i ten miecz już lepiej wygląda niż ostatni. Ten mój.
Each shielding the other that no man might fall.
Ten wygląda jak zabawka dla dzieci. A nie jak ostrze mające kogoś zabić.
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you.
And I will do as you.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too.
Right, you?
Dobra, dawać tę kaszę.
The calm before the storm.
To tak mało.
And here it comes.
W jakiej ilości to jest śniadanie?
Let this village fall.
Chwila, bo to tornado nie działa jak należy. O! Nie sięgł ogon, no nie pociągnął go, szkoda. O, lodowe pociski teraz wypuszczam. Nie wiedziałem, że pociski się zmieniają. Spoko. I już tam. Dawać więcej, a nie. Żadne wyzwanie.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait.
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst. I could order a
No. You stay here too, so wait. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when
If you're sure. May the
Dobra, idziemy upolować tygrysa. Dobrze, teraz tak. Tygrys jest tam, masz. Dobra, nie ma rady, trzeba do niego podjechać.
Next one's mine. I might not.
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
Tak, tak, dobrze. O. Tak, tak, jesteśmy. Łutrzaku, chodź tutaj. Dobra. Bez szans, ten tygrys jest totalnie bez szans. Au. Koniec. Enough. No i dobra. Mamy go.
All right. Back to East Pool.
Lord Rosfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. We were able to... I have guardians posted around the village to... I hesitate to say.
I think it might.
We saved...
No i ocaliśmy
Thank you, my friends.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means.
We never had nothing to call our own before. But now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, but there's no doubt in my mind we're free men now. So we have to we have to fight to protect what's ours. To protect Eastpool.
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take...
They'll have us to answer.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he were still with us today...
I believe you might be...
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my...
I think you'll find it's Eastpudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting...
Can we continue to count on your support?
Of course. And I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds.
All right. I will.
Lord Rosfield.
Marta, masz 4 typów, którzy są jej obstawą.
Clearing the goblins from the still wind.
O, to jest dobre. To zostawimy.
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
Dokładnie. Zrobimy co w naszej mocy. Dobrze, teraz tutaj do doków, tak? Tu jest przejście? Jest. Dobra, teraz jedziemy do drugiego questa, a później do zajazdu martwych. Teraz tak.
This is no time to ride.
Ciekawe, czy tu czarne tarcze będą akaszami.
Good girl.
Yeah!
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers.
Back to civilization.
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like... I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be...
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try.
Dokładnie. To Orgal tam dwóch wziął. Wybacz, Torgal. No mercy. Chcieliście mnie zabić, musicie ponieść konsekwencje. Co teraz powiesz?
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Ssd the Outlaw.
Sid.
Ah, Doris. You know, I always wondered, but casting your lot with this criminal...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons. She raised me like a daughter. And I did.
Inaczej najemniczka.
Things.
It wasn't all terrible. Surely.
We had our fun. You were always so eager to learn and had such clever hands. But you proved yourself a master of both. How about it, my little dagger?
I never swore my blade to you, nor to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, master. Thank you for making me the...
You always were a righteous. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore, and she no longer has friends in high places. The dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court.
All right.
I am. And thank you for...
Okej.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put coal.
No to kryjówka. Został zjazd Marty. Seria cofnęła mnie aż do kryjówki.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being...
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about...
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two things, and so the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sunbreak. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry.
I hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here. Anyway, thanks again, Sid.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Samostanowienie. Dobra, wróciło nas do kryjówki. Ale ja tu nie chciałem iść. Ciągle zajazd Marty jeszcze wisi nade mną.
The hero? It's lucky you came by. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool, enough.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right. Take it.
Dziewczyny, już nie powinnaś mi płacić, już mam
So, Eastpool's
milion.
finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Opowieść o Sidzie można posłuchać.
Want to know? I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison.
Ubodło? Jest takie słowo?
And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing, to make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see if the least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a one.
Dobra. Ale fajnie było posłuchać o ojcu i o Sidzie. Zawsze miło to słuchać tych opowieści. 100 000 już niedługo. No i 43. Ja w ogóle nawet nie zwracam uwagi na te poziomy już. To bardzo nie ma na co patrzeć. Dobra, lecimy tutaj. Na razie weźmiemy kolejny quest chyba, co? Chyba tak. Będziemy robić questy, a na koniec psika zrobię, może się okazać, że jedno z drugim się zbiega. Chociaż na razie to plus jest bliżej. Okej, to wszystko nie pasuje, plus jest tylko blisko. Dobra, zrobimy plusa. O nie, moje kochane, nie mam czasu na takie płotki. Wilki to już przeciwnicy. A którędy ja mam jechać? No ja nie wiem, czy ja dam radę tak to przebyć. Mogę? Oho, dobra. Tylko tam.
Enough of you, are there? Straight home now.
No zbierz.
Two down, one to go.
Ah, Clive, you'll be pleased to know...
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala, but I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge... You couldn't do me a quick fix.
What is it this time?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how... Find out exactly how much fast...
All right.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Piwo. Jedno piwo. Gościu. Clive sobie może normalnie kupić miasto piwa.
Don't blame yourself, Elle. This is their fault. Not I know, but no buts about it.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediate. The talks with the Republican Army. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, but the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counter-offer?
None at all.
Elle? I saw Vonnie leaving.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to. How did the Consortium even find out?
It's not so surprising. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be my... How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an... You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. Even if I fail to free these... Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me. Well, it looks like I'm following orders till from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if she means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but...
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants, and if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part. So I bid you farewell, and I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure that... You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar then. And better.
Zmiana miejsc, no właśnie, tu jest quest. Ojoj, tu jest dużo. Już mi się to nie podoba tak do końca. Dobra, ale tutaj trzeba pojechać.
What I wouldn't give for a home.
When are they gonna let us through?
Good girl.
Pies jest szybszy od mojego kurczaka, no.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consort?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not neutral. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then.
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser. The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across... A most demanding fellow, Miss Ennick. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own... That's what you get when you deal with continental...
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is... They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings.
That does sound... No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw, and with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to...
Nie dogadali się.
I'm sorry you weren't able to say.
As am I. But I only have myself to... He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to...
So you never...
No. I entertained the consortium's proposal solely so I could... But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, they deserved more. I wanted so bad.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under... A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and Theo and the others are trying to hold them as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help. And...
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just...
Be safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
To jest tu? Tak. Hop. Nie ma to jak skakać po mapie jak królik. Ej, obróć się. Dobrze. Nie mam czasu na płotki, mówiłem już. Nie będę z wami walczył. Niewidzialna ściana.
Where's Theodore?
Upriver! He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village. But we just have to pray he makes it out.
I can do better than that.
Porgal do mnie moja desko. Tam tak daleko? Nie można konikiem. A jednak. Oszukamy system, patrzcie. To jest 350 metrów. Oszaleli, że ja będę tam na piechotę szedł. I jeszcze może z czymś walczył po drodze. Nie. Jedziemy tam szybciutko. Żadna kasza. Na razie. Żadne orły. Nic mnie nie powstrzyma. On żyje jeszcze? Dobra, zebraliśmy ich. Teraz.
Waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
O, dzień dobry.
Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well.
Aha, jak Sfarog. O, jak można go zamrozić, to już jest easy. Ale znowu nie celujmy w głowę. Ma Sfaroga movement. Tylko że ja potrafię już zamrażyć. Oj, nie trafiłem uniku. Oj. No nie. Dobra, chodź na ziemię. Na ziemię. Ała. Mamy go. Dobra, już nie żyje. On nie ma tylko kulek tamtego smoka. Chyba cię coś zamroziło, kolego. Do widzenia. Go zmroziło. Leżeć.
Clive? Theo, you had me worried for...
O nie.
to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that.
O nie.
Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not.
Smutny koniec.
For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
Gdyby Clive mógł wysłać z niego tą moc, ale raczej to się nie wydarzy, że będzie go zabił.
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
Serio?
Take care
Zabije się.
of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye. Oh.
Żegnaj. Kocham tę grę. Za takie właśnie momenty. Ma specjalne miejsce w moim sercu. Nie ma dobrego endingu. Nie każdy zasługuje na dobry koniec. I nie każdego ma. Niektórzy muszą zginąć najgorszą śmiercią w obronie kogoś.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat.
He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people,
Ja nie płaczę, to tylko pot.
players get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen, the life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can, whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then, for Theodore.
Nie są najgorsze te zadania. Najpierw z Martą było w miarę i z Wade'em w miarę okej zadanie, a teraz tu. Też w miarę okej. Dobra. Ale you must go on. Dobra, teraz tak. Dalamil najpierw.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you not...
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
Oczywiście.
How could I refuse?
Thank you. Victor will have him stationed by the desert gate.
I'll go and speak with him.
Dobrze. Jedziemy dalej. Następne zadanie. Które jest? Tu niedaleko, to i tak pójdziemy od razu. League of Any.
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnus by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with... There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon. At as many...
All right.
There's one upriver.
Leave it with me.
Dobrze, zaatakować obóz. To już tu możemy to robić. Nie będę się nigdzie teleportował. Jedziemy. Co tam jest na górze? Co to za potwór? Fajny taki. Salamandra. Walczyliśmy. Olewamy. Jakby było coś nowego, to bym zawalczył, żeby wam pokazać, a tak to nie.
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him. The one who killed Lot and Fingers. Take his head off.
Wspomniał nazwisko Locke. Powiem taką ciekawostkę, jest taki bardzo fajny serial na Netflixie. Locke'owie się nazywa. A nie, Lock and Key, przepraszam. Taki był tytuł. Tam jest o rodzinie Locke'ów. Bardzo fajny, ciekawy serial. Przyjemnie się go oglądało.
Sid. Ah, I see the...
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's it. They're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalamil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about... And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal...
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. Which is what? If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something. And quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I'm Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Lubor, ty kłamco. Jak mogłeś?
Why do they always have to make such a...
He knew all along that he was... Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I, Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted...
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this at least he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Duopa.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but the...
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Jedna decyzja, jedna rzecz, którą zrobisz i już cię wszyscy robią z ciebie jakiegoś największego oszusta i od razu wieszają na tobie psy. Nieważne, że ten człowiek dla tej wioski zrobiłby wszystko i robił wszystko. Już jest spalony.
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
Skąd to Clive wiesz?
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
I would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. You had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
Wiktor się wkurzył.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor? Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do. If there's anything I can do. Anything. I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Dobrze. Wszystko jedno. Wiecie, czasem najlepiej, kiedy cię nie chcą odejść i wrócić, kiedy będziesz potrzebny, wtedy wszyscy zdadzą sobie sprawę. Że jednak warto by było, żeś był. Zobaczymy, co tu się dzieje.
Clive, you're in?
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside the...
Well done.
Welcome back.
Jest i Zoltan żywej gry.
Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am. Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
O, Blackthore przyszedł. No tak, w końcu chodzi o tą wioskę.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know.
Nie, Blackthorna nie zeskipuje.
Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
Then your idea of an apology. Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best.
Dobrze się dogadują panowie.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. Short enough on time. Still, give us a mo, would you?
Prick or not, I won't abandon Dravost to a swarm of Akashic.
Just say the word. The villagers know to keep out of sight when the fighting starts.
You, ready for the...
We can't afford to waste any more.
Right you are. Maybe you don't want any nasty surprise. Oh, and Blackthore.
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming. They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open.
Good idea. Get your...
Understood.
Nie lepiej, żeby Clive poszedł i jest po prostu zabije, jak będą wychodzić z kopalni? A nie w mieście? Nie rozumiem tego.
Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to the people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate, but it won't come to that.
You'd better
take good care of Dravost.
Leave it to me. And
O, popalić. Panie. Wszystko zostanie spalone. No co to za mały byczek. Jak to szybko zbija im. Jak to szybko zbiło mu. Okej, więcej. Tutaj to będzie daleko. To. Jeszcze? Dobrze, chodź. Ała. O, te drobne ała. Oj, nie zmarnowałem. To chyba koniec.
Is that it? Apparently not.
Co jeszcze? Tego nie widziałem nigdy. Świecą mu się oczy, ale jest piękny, dajcie mi go, tak. Takiego tygoryska, tak chimera. Dobra. Taki piękny. Ładnie zamarzasz, ładnie. Oj, wstał. Ej. Nowy atak. Koniec. Ach, tam. Łatwizna. Ale aż gruby tygrysie. Znaczy lwie. Znaczy czymkolwiek jesteś.
No, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive!
I slew as many as I could.
Dokładnie.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over
Przepraszam.
the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back in...
Ale mi się odbija. Ale nic z tym nie zrobię, tak to jest z refluksem.
Sid, you're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things.
Serio?
But mostly,
Ja nie.
I felt grateful. Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorne, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Dravoged isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day, because it's easy and turns a profit.
A Zoltan przyznał rację.
I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but no one sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorne. Remind Dravoged what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorne. The master smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
Miło widzieć dwóch pasjonatów pracujących, a nie kłócących się.
Sid, I've got something for you.
Pęknięte kowadło.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Tak, miecz.
There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravost in the first place?
Bo ciśnie.
Certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
O, oczywiście, że nie.
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools.
O, legenda. Legenda do wykucia.
With a little help from Blackthorne, I don't see why we can't restore Dravost to its former glory. Barring ether floods, that is. With a little help from Blackthorne.
Nie to chciałem.
I'll tell you what, Clive. If we pull this off, it will ruin every other sword you've ever held.
Oczywiście, że nie będę chciał innego.
Don't you worry about that.
Dobra, moi drodzy. Wykujemy najlepszy miecz na świecie, ale po następnym questie chyba. W końcu, żeby się zmierzyć z mieczem samego Odyna, trzeba mieć miecz lepszy od Odyna. W końcu coś musi zatrzymać te ciosy, nie? Nie. No. Cyril.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
O, jeszcze Ultimie.
I regret to report.
I see.
Jeszcze Ultimie, już mamy 2 godziny, a jeszcze Ultima.
Truth is, even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnant, as if protecting the secrets.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, mayhap it would please you to observe.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A surveys, perchance you are familiar with Kretov. A small... I was due to visit my colleagues there to... If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most... Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village.
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord.
Mhm. Dobrze, teraz tak. O, to jest daleko. I to jest zatkane, a jak mam... Czatownię Tytana, tu mówił od tej strony. Dobra, złota ścieżka, w takim razie jedziemy od tej strony. On przez czatownię Tytana chce, żebym podróżował. Dobrze. Chodź do mnie. Teraz tak jak my mamy jechać nie tędy. Tędy, tak jak myślałem. Już za szybko bym pojechał do przodu. Oj, nie ma nawet szans, żebym się zatrzymał. Nie liczcie na to, potwory. Ja, bo skocz. Oj, chyba się jednak zatrzymam. Tego jeszcze nie zabiłem. Musisz zginąć z mojej ręki. Wiecie, to niszczy nieźle. Okej. Oj. O, odbicie, jeszcze silny atak, dobrze. A w tej formie nie mogę wezwać konia. Dobrze wiedzieć. Patrzcie, nie wsiądę ognisty na konia. Jednak ma to sens. To ma dużo sensu. Jak spowijają ci płomienie, no to nie powinieneś wsiadać na konia. Dobrze. Podoba mi się ten zamysł akurat. Jest logiczny. Wyobraźcie sobie, żebym wsiadł płonący na tego kurczaka. KFC gotowe. Hop. Hop. Item. Hop. Tak to się robi. Skacze się. Czy to jest teleport? Chyba tak. Dobrze, jest teleport, podoba mi się to. Dobrze, że jest tu teleport. Wchodzimy. Pomyśleć, że są jeszcze miejsca, których można nie zobaczyć, bo poboczne jest zadanie.
You'll pay for this. May still be survivors.
Tam jest kula, której... Będzie ich więcej.
Whatever that thing is, say it's their leader.
Lider. Na ziemię. Okej, tego się nie da odbić. No on już i tak leży. No trafił mnie, szkoda. Zamarznij. Koniec, pękaj. Chyba pęknął lodem, co? Nie no, ten lód jest... Już rozumiem, dlaczego siwy nie dali tak szybko. Wow, umiejętności siwy są za mocne.
Forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are
A
Lord
posłuchamy tego.
Rosari, not. We are archaeologians tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared,
Może dowiemy się czegoś o Ultimie.
occupied their attentions. Thanks to them and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Dobra, idziemy do Cira. Cyril.
You are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take...
My thanks. I shall study them and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. for all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
Nieśmiertelna służba. Tchnienie lodu, epoka lodowcowa. Okej. Dobrze, moi drodzy. Zakończyliśmy naszą pustynię. Mogę iść do Northwich, albo mogę iść od razu skrafcić miecz. I zrobimy craft miecza, będzie szybciej walki wszystko, więc robimy miecz. Zrobimy legendę. I później wrócimy tutaj z powrotem. Najpierw tylko interesuje mnie nowy miecz. Najlepszy miecz ever.
The man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without
Tego nie zeskipuję, to jest wiekopomna chwila.
You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that wet stone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk to the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is then.
Do miecha. Mieczorka. Najlepsze ostrze w grze jest moje. Już chyba nie będzie lepszego miecza.
Bugger me. We actually did it.
Ten miecz w ogóle powinien się świecić i jeszcze być laserowy.
The sword to end all swords.
Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft
Oh.
something better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
Dokładnie.
You leave this list with me.
Czyli Ragnarok nie jest najlepszą bronią.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Podoba mi się głos Zoltana. Fajny jest. Smutek Kowala. No dobra, mamy super broń, a oni jeszcze lepszą chcą stworzyć. Ragnarok. Zmierzy bogów. To jest broń, która wygra z Odynem. Domyślam się, że zmierzchu bogów nie wykrafci tak szybko, więc bierzemy Ragnarok.
Something for you, dear. Anything else? To what do I owe the honor? I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend of me, Clive.
The best.
You do what you need to do, Clive.
Dobrze, tu się dużo rzeczy podblokowywało. Tak jak mówiłem. Jedziemy dalej. Najlepsi kowale są razem i skrawcą jeszcze lepszą broń dla mnie, więc o nic lepszego nie może prosić wojownik niż o lepszą broń. A kowal o nic lepszego nie może prosić, tylko o lepszego wojownika, który jest w stanie nią się posługiwać godnie. Tak samo jak łucznik i inni ludzie.
Oh, Clive, my wards and I may soon be without.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his...
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his... Not that any of those things still exist.
And what does he want with Northrop?
He wants to transform it, a foundation upon which to build in. He's already secured the support.
He would rob the populace.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly.
What does Captain Philippe make of? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around.
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec, a man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional...
Dobra, wiecie co? Ja zaraz wrócę, idę sobie nalać picia i w ogóle. A ona nie chce pogada.
Offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
Dobrze. Gdzie teraz trzeba iść? Garnizon pewnie? Tak jest.
At the remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Dobrze, idziemy do garnizonu. Ja muszę iść jeszcze do toalety na chwilę, ale wpuszczę wam gadkę z garnizonu i pójdę. Także nic nadzwyczajnego.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But You should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
Okej, dowiedziałem się i pójdę sobie.
Citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Okej, czyli tu nikogo nie będę pytał.
The veil will see to your needs.
No to biegniemy i pytamy.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'll be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Z drugiej strony niby 20 metrów, ale z drugiej strony, ale mnie no swędzi, dajcie spokój, oj, oj. Ja trzeba się podrapać, trudno. Nie obrócę kamery.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
I skoro jesteśmy już po tej stronie, to chyba najlepiej pojechać do tamtego zadania od razu.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Dobra. Przerwamy tego questa na chwilę, żeby tu podjechać, bo jestem blisko i tu się mogę steleportować z powrotem. A tam nie. Więc jedziemy tam. No ja tu przy okazji odblokuję. Wiecie, to chyba jest właśnie. Tak myślałem, że jadę w złym kierunku, bo już zaczęło. Punkt zostaje wyżej, a ja niżej zjeżdżam. Tu jest wjazd. Co tu ciekawego mamy? Tu raptory kiedyś mieszkały, teraz ich nie ma. No właśnie, wiedziałem, że jest jakiś powód. Ochrona. Jeszcze żyjesz? Twarde są. Dobrze, teraz już mamy wszystko. Wiecie co, jeszcze zerknę, czy tu nie ma jeszcze jakiegoś questa w terenie. Bym się później jeździł. Nie, nie widzę. Dobra. Teraz tu musimy porozmawiać ze wszystkim w środku. Wrócić do kryjówki i oddać to. To jest najbliżej? To.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
To się wydaje w miarę ciekawe, to posłuchamy.
I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Dobra, nie ma wyboru, trzeba i tak tędy iść. Czy to drugi jest na górze? Tak myślałem.
You're the one who was talking to his on the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Dobrze. Ciężko się steruje 3 palcami, ale jakoś daje radę, jak widzicie.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Dobrze.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Dobrze. Tędy się da jakoś przejść? Tak. To idziemy.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak?
I was.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders, and not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the... Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
O, jest i on.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
Why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about, protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, my lady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive.
Uuu,
There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
dokładnie.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which still lies within our grasp.
Jeśli żołnierzom powie się wybijcie wszystkich w mieście
To the true enemy. Thank you.
i wszyscy żołnierze nie wypełnią tego rozkazu,
Anything for you.
to zabijesz wszystkich żołnierzy?
Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to
No chyba nie.
watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
Until then. Until dawn. Dobra gierka to była. O. Mnie się podobają story gry. Mogę posłuchać dobrego dialogu. I oczywiście jaki jest dobry. Wiadomo, horrory są naciągane w grach, no bo czego tu się bać, jak to wszystko jest grom. Ale jednak. Dobra. Lecimy oddać ostatnie zadanko. I kończymy nagrywanie tego odcinka jednocześnie. Tylko najpierw... Wiecie co? Zrobimy tak. Tu zbierzemy wszystko. Przeciągniemy ten odcinek specjalnie, żeby tu wszystko pokończyć.
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall not respawn. But as soon as the rebuilding...
Powiem wam, że ta gra ma jeden dobry bardzo przekaz, którego brakuje w naszym realnym świecie. Niewolnictwo i nierówność to jest jedno. I nazywanie kogoś tam gorszym albo lepszym to jest jedno. Zapominanie, że wszyscy jesteśmy ludźmi. To jest dobry przekaz. Bez względu na to, czy ktoś jest politykiem, czy inną personą i tak dalej. To jest fajna muza. Zostawmy sobie to. Bo ja jestem w bojowym nastroju. Jaki jest jeszcze przekaz z tej gry? Żeby być wdzięcznym.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Wdzięczności w dzisiejszych czasach jest żałosna ilość. Jamaica, bank wielkiego. Porozumienie trójstronne. Chyba to chcę tylko wiedzieć. Aha, czyli... Magitek. Magitek. Zostawiamy tą muzykę, bo ja jestem w bojowym nastroju. I zaraz czeka nas pociągnięcie fabuły dalej. To jest muzyka zwycięstwa nad Odynem moja. Które przyjdzie niebawem moje zwycięstwo. W trzeciej rundzie do 3 razy sztuka. Jak już w trzeciej rundzie z nim przegram, to naprawdę stwierdzę, że Clive jest beznadziejny. Nie no, żartuję.
Good, thank.
No i co ciekawego dostanę za to? Co to był za plus?
May I present to you the Telemon Furnace in Paris?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on.
Może do tego jest potrzebny właśnie, żeby miecz mogli wykuć.
It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise.
Pewnie, że tak. Ciekawe, o ile potionów mi znowu pewnie jeden duży, dwa małe i może ostateczne 2 teraz będą. Zobaczymy.
So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Dobrze, zadanie ukończone. O, nareszcie maksymalny ekwipunek, maksymalny ten. Jeszcze miecza nie mam, tylko maksymalnego. No i dobrze, 2, 5 się spodziewałem, 4 toniki siły, tonik kamiennej skóry 4. Brakuje tu mi tylko ostatecznego eliksiru, podwójne D. Dobra, moi drodzy. Teleport. Nie ten przycisk, 2 razy nie ten przycisk, super. Brawo ja. Dobra, idziemy odebrać nagrodę. Kończę na tym ten odcinek. I szykujcie się w następnym na fabułę. Oj, będzie fabuła. Chyba, że coś znowu wyskoczy, pewnie się coś pojawi.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, so. Here you are.
Orkiestrą i anime upadłych rękawice Jenniego.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Dobrze, moi drodzy, zobaczmy sobie. Wszystko mamy tu ogarnięte, prawda? Tak. To będzie długi odcinek. Ile to ma? No, praktycznie 3 godziny. Dobra, dziękuję wam za oglądanie. Do następnego. Trzymajcie się, cześć.